Hello and welcome to my channel, your channel, Real Talk with Pastor Jumi. We're going to focus on criticism in relationship. Criticism in relationship as regards life. And I was checking out the definition of criticism, and really it's a perception of somebody, of something or someone as regards faults or mistakes or errors on part of another person. It's perceived, and to tell the truth, human beings are wired to give an opinion. We always have an opinion to give, and it's your perception. It's okay. And, Americans, we call it, I want to give my 2 cents. It's all right. But it is how we give it that we shall talk in this episode. And I also say that we are also, as human beings, we are also wired to react, to react to criticism, to react to anything that people say about our character, our what we've done. We always react, but it now depends on how you take that criticism and how you react. But we're going to talk about how the giver of the criticism should be mindful of. The very first thing is, please give it in love. Give your criticism. Oftentimes, people see criticism as fault finding. You are finding fault in what I do, in how I do it, in relationship, a husband, a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend. Oh, you're always finding fault with me. You're always criticizing me. But really, criticism, if given well, is supposed to better the life of the other person. Whatever criticism you're going to give, if it's not going to improve the life of the other person, then please don't give it. Keep it to yourself, because it's your opinion anyways. It's not as if to say you're giving it based on facts or based on empirical data that, research has done. So let us be mindful. That's on the part of the giver. And I also want to say, please give it in wisdom. Give it in wisdom. The word of the Lord says that wisdom is the principal thing. And in all our getting, we should get understanding. So when we are going to criticize somebody, what they've said, what they've done in our relationship, please don't ever let us use the word always, or you are never good. You are never in our schools. Let teachers refrain from, you are never good. You are always doing this. You are always, even in the house. Let's be mindful of how we address our spouses. Let's be mindful of how we address our children. When will you ever be good? You are not good. You are not better. You can't you just see how your siblings, your other sisters and brothers are doing things? So let's be mindful when we are giving criticism. Let's make it constructive criticism. If we are constructive about it, we'll be mindful that what I'm saying will better the life of the other person, will improve it, because we are coming now to the giver, to the receiver. But for us who are giving it, don't let us be seen as fault finding. Don't be the person that will always find fault in what people do. Can you just encourage them, even if what you want to say will better them? First of all, find what is good, what they've been doing good, and after, you can now tell them, okay, you can do this better. You can do this better. Don't let us be too critical, hypercritical in everything. You don't ever see what good somebody is doing, always being critical. So if we are mindful about our delivery method, delivering it in love, putting other people's in our shoes, being intentional about choice of words. Choice of words that we use, we find out that people will receive our constructive criticism. And if for any reason you find out that, oh my goodness, I've hurt this person by what I said, you can always go back and tell your relationship that, oh, I didn't mean it that way. I could have said it in a better way. Okay? And so with that being said, we come to the receiver. Criticism, constructive criticism is good. It is good if given in good faith. So you, the receiver, you should always look for, at least if this person has given 10, let's say, 10 items, 5 of it, or even 3, look through it in good faith and see which one will be better for you. Just don't discard, and don't discard in anger. Don't discard with malice. And the other person too shouldn't give in anger and malice. I left that out. Don't give in anger and malice. You can calm down, cool down before you now give. So you are intentional about your choice of words. You are intentional, that's the giver. So for us, for the receiver, on the other hand, let us also be mindful that we are not just receiving it in anger. The person's always criticizing me. My spouse always criticizing me. I'm never good enough. I don't do things, he doesn't appreciate. She doesn't appreciate. She's always, please, let us calm down when these criticisms are coming, and so that we can receive it and evaluate them in good faith, that, oh, it's supposed to make me better. And I also want to say that if these criticisms are coming in wisdom on the part of the giver, on the part of the receiver, remember that even the world powers of old, they surrounded themselves with wise men. Way back in the era of the pharaohs, we find out that when Pharaoh had a dream, he was looking for somebody to interpret. After it was interpreted, guess what? He said, the guy, which is Joseph, told him, you need to find somebody who can execute this strategy of saving the economy, saving the people from starvation. And Pharaoh looked and said, who else can do it but you, who has the Spirit of God, who is full of the wisdom of God? Wise. So please, as a receiver, don't surround yourself with yes people that will not be able to evaluate what you are doing and say, hey, Pastor Jimmy, like, the ministers will say, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do this? At times, I may even take a decision that, excuse me, ma'am, we don't think that decision is okay. I will not just shut them up. I will go back and I will evaluate what they have said. So I dare say that for the receiver of the criticism, please do not surround yourself with people who will not be able to add to your life. Look for people, friends, who will give you constructive criticism, who will review what you're doing, review your life, and you find out that it will be a wonderful experience walking through this life, not being bitter at every time people say things that you find a little critical, you find a little fault finding, as it were, is to make you better in life. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and see you at the next episode. Make sure you share, you subscribe, and you tell your friends and family about this channel. God bless you. We will again bring you a very important and interesting topic.